Hi guys, can you hear me?
Door close.
Okay, so I will explain you the process of how this will work. Obviously, there are a lot of people, and we are doing it for 2 hours or around 2 hours. There is this raise your hand feature button there on your panel, and I will randomly allow you to unmute and ask your question. Others, if you don't get the chance, just listen to the others' question because questions are common. It's not that if the other person is asking the question is not important, you can listen to the answer of that question. I will try to take a maximum that I can, that the time allows. Beyond that, obviously, it is not possible. So raise your hand one by one, and I'll randomly pick up only one question. Huh? So one more thing, just ask one question, and then the other person, I will move on to the other person. So raise your hand, and then we will start. And also, do you see the screen here? The charts. Can you see the charts? Just write yes. Okay. Thanks. Hmm. Okay. Once again, let me just remind you the format. You ask one question, raise your hand. I will allow you to unmute, and then you can ask your questions. Others listen to the answer, and the recording will be there. If you still just pay attention to what I'm talking and not in writing and whatever, because you will get the recording. So don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Rohit, Rohit Kumar, unmute yourself, and you can use any language. One more thing, Hindi, English, both are good. So whatever language you're comfortable in, Hindi bhi chalega, English is also good. So ask your question. Yes, Rohit.
Actually, I was asking, if I'm taking any positions, I
Mhm.
start with 10 to 15% at one go. Suppose the very next day, if it happens as a gap down, how I
Mhm.
should manage both positions?
If I'm correct, you're saying that you start with 10% position, and if
Yeah,
tomorrow there is a gap down, what to do?
yeah, right, exactly.
See, whatever the size of the position is, the rule of the risk management is your stop is hit. There is no what should I do now? There is no second guessing. There is no I don't do it. And so whatever I'm telling you is what I follow. If I buy 10%, 20%, 50%, 90% does not matter. If my stop is hit, even if it is a 2% position, if it's a very, very small size position, which does not really matter to me a lot, but if the risk management rules are very intact, you can't really play around with them. In this business, the only thing that can save you and has saved me for all these years, I've survived demonetization, COVID, and so many crashes, war, election volatility,
Mhm.
Brexit, whatnot. I have only survived because I have one strong rule of risk management where I don't second guess after that. If my stop is hit, if tomorrow there is a gap down, my stop is 100 and there is a gap down at 95, exit at market. Don't even wait for 100. Something will
Yeah.
be there to recover your money. But if you just stay there, you blocking your money, and will not have free money to invest in something else which is good. Usually stocks that gap down a lot, the chances of it recovering are also go down with them. So you are sitting with a bad quality merchandise. You are sitting with a bad quality stock. Some do recover, but it's all right. If you stay if you stay confused, you will never be able to take a decision. You have to have a rule of, if my stop is it, I'm out. But if you don't have this rule, I can guarantee you, and there are some students also, ex-students also, members, club members also here, they can write in the chat and they can even vouch for it, that if you don't have rules, you will stay confused in every trade. Every trade, ki main kya karu? Should I stay? Should I cut? Should I wait for my price to come up? This confusion will not lead you to anywhere. and you will not really make money. You will be moving in circles, and forget money, you will just not make any progress. So the answer in short is, if your stop is hit, if the gap down is way more than your stop, does not matter. Take it as a bad trade, because it happens to me also. Even after years of 15 years of experience, it happens to me even today. If I buy something, there are days, there are some trades which gap down beyond my stop, and I take them as a part of my game. It does not happen a lot, but if it does happen, is my point. And what I do is I immediately close my trade. For example, I had RVNL recently, just 2 days ago. I had a very, very minor position which would have not impacted me even if it goes to zero. So, but I had a position here on this day. I bought it here, and 2 days later, you can see the closing of 124 and the opening is 118, way below my stop. And I exited at market price. So I'm not waiting for 120 and all that, because then I will be just confused all the time. And I don't want confusion. Confusions are not good for this business. Okay. Ganesh Kumar. Ganesh Kumar, ask your question, Hindi, English, anything.
Hi, Manoj. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have two questions. One is that, so
one question.
Okay, sure. Okay, sure. I have recently, or for the past 1 year, I'm doing the swing trading. So my main concern is like, I'm not able to scale my position. I'm still having a fear of, if I scale my position, it might affect my drawdown and it will take more time to recover in that. So what is your advice on, to scale position?
See, I'll tell you one thing. In life or in this business, whatever you're scared of, to get the fear of that out of your system, you have to do exactly that. Because, like, for example, if I'm scared of trading, how will you get off the fear of trading? Is by start trading and take small trades and then get over the fear and all that. That yes, you have a system which you know that today this trade ended in a loss, but the next one, or there will be some trade which will pay off for everything. So if you're scared of scaling, then take next 5-10 trades just to practice scaling in and forget about losing money or making money. You can take smaller sizes, so that even if you lose money, you don't lose a lot. But the objective of this exercise is to take the trades with that objective, that I want to get over of the fear of buying up. Pyramiding is what you want, is asking, right?
Yeah, I think I was not able to unmute. And really on the pyramiding, say for example, my entry is right now 10% of, I have a capital of X, and then my initial entry is 10%. In any shares, I have initial entry is 10%. But I have been in this 10% for quite a while. So I wanted to increase that, the initial entry to 20%.
I would suggest you to not go to initial entry to 20%. Take 10% positions and scale in 2%, 5%, 7% on every rise. Like if you're watching my trades, if you've been following me, this is what I do. I've been buying one position. I bought 7 positions, 8 positions in Zentek.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm not going in with 80%, 90% position in first trade, because it usually, even at my level, it affects my head that if I go in with a lot of position in one go. So I start with 10, 15, or maybe not always 10, 15. But what I'm saying is you can start with one position. Don't go for 20 in one go. What I have seen is working for others also is you start with, let's say, X 10% or 7%, and then you scale in, add 3-4% in the coming days, and see if your trade is acting well. Because you will add only when the trade is acting well, right? You will not add just because you want to add, because you want to go to a 30% target. The ideal money is when you have a position with 20 to 25, 30% account, and it goes 30, 40% up. Like, this is the ideal. If you buy the stock with good size and this goes up like this, this is what moves your account very fast. 10% positions usually will not. 10% position will only move your account if you ride the way all the way up. If you ride this move all the way up, which I not sure if a lot of people do, but the real game is, let me just cut it short for you. The real money is when you have 25% position and the stock goes up 30 to 70, 80% up in just a month or so. That really moves your account by a good 10, 15% from just one trade.
Okay, got it.
So your ideal should be start with X. Then if it is acting well in the coming days, add another portion to it. If it is still acting well, add more to it and try to go to 25, 30 of your account. And then just patiently ride it. If it is acting well, moving along the 10, 20 moving average, and then that's where the real money is.
Okay, got it. So rather than scaling the initial entry, I should focus on pyramiding.
Don't go
so that it
don't buy bulk in one go, because usually the stock, when it's starting out, they don't really start out neatly every time. This is a very neat breakout. Not every stock moves like very neatly like this. There are start with some position, you will feel more relaxed and you will take better decisions. This is what I feel. I'm telling you my experience. So you try this exercise. This is what all the members in the club also are doing it. And they shared the same feedback that it's more peaceful. They're more relaxed. They have made money at with peace. They are in this entire 3 months rally. They've made money with a lot of peace instead of just staying on the screen all the time and looking at every price drop or price increase.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thanks a lot.
Manjeet Kumar Punia, please unmute and ask your question. Manjeet. Okay, he's not here. Ashwin Kamath. Yeah.
Yeah, Manas. Manas, how do you classify between selling into strength and pyramiding, especially when it undercuts moving average of 10?
See, selling is the trickiest part of this business. I can teach anyone buying in just about 20 days. And I've seen that almost everyone who put in the effort learned buying in 20 days. It's the selling that takes months and a lot of trades to understand what really selling is. So to answer your question, how to really differentiate between selling into strength and sitting early, you have to take the bigger picture in perspective here. Like, for example, if I talk about this trade, when I bought Zentek here, this was my first day, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know that this stock is coming out of a big base. It is just if I am assuming, when I buy a trade, I assume that it is my 100x trade. Okay. I'm not, especially if I'm buying from a big base breakout. I'm thinking that this is my star trade, this is my hero trade, and it will go to reach the skies. So I'm not looking to sell here because it has just come out of a big base. Now, after a rally, now from here, the stock is up 50% in only 31 trading days. Now this is not young anymore. So when I'm buying here, I know that the stock is young and I want to try and riding it. And it worked in my favor. Not every trade works like this. This trade worked. So I was taking my chances, and on every dip I was adding it. But when finally it reached 340, there were many signs. The first sign is it's far from the base. That's your first sign that the upside is limited from here. Then something that we do is count the number of corrections or the bases in that rally. Usually after the third, this is your first, this is your second, and this is your third, and then it has reached fourth. So usually after 3, the upside, you can study on the previous charts, study all the big winners. You will see that after the third base, the upside is limited. So that's your second sign. First is it's 50% up. Second is the rally is 4 bases old. So from here, the odds of upside is limited and downside is more, which is why I booked some at 340 on this day, somewhere here. on this day, and it collapsed. You can see it. And then it undercut the base, reset the whole count, which again is a complicated matter I mean, it deserves a good video in itself. But after these two signs, I sold here, and it turned out to be almost a top. And then I saved this something, and then I re-entered, and it made a new high again. And if you now, the third sign of why I sold here is because now if you see, how do you hide? Yeah. Now, if you see, this is the only time in this entire rally where you have so many green days in a row, and the angle of the rise is also the sharpest. This is around 74 degrees. Can you hear me? Are you there? 1 second. Ashwin, are you there?
Yeah.
So do you agree that this is the sharpest increase in the price? This is a 70-degree rally, and before this it was not like this. And in this 74 degrees, you can see that there are so many green Ds in a row for the first time.
Right.
And now the stock is not, if it was not young here, it is definitely not young here also. So I sold almost 80-90% here. And again, the second time I got almost the top.
Manas, just a subsequent question to that. Can the sharp rise happen in the early stage of the base?
It does happen. And if it happens, you have to take some profit off if the sharp rise is sharp. But you can always re-enter, because on a bigger frame, the weekly will tell you that it's still a young leg. For example, Paytm, on the daily, it's a very sharp rise. But if you see the weekly, it's still a very young trend. So if I sell something, I will always buy it back, because I know that the juice is still there. On a bigger frame, the juice is still left. The move is still left. I'm just in cashing on this small extension. I sold here. I sold around here, sorry. And my intention is to re-enter, because on a bigger frame, it still says that the juice is left. All right.
Yeah. Very
thank
clear.
you.
Thank you.
Suraj Parab.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Manas. So I'm trading for the last 3 years, and I have read the books of Mark Minervini and William O'Neill. So the only problem I'm right now facing is, like, I'm following you from the past few months. So while you buying the stock, do you take general market in consideration? Like,
100%.
when you stop it, like, what is your system to follow?
Environment is market environment is something which can make your game really, really, really easy. In Feb, do you see the screen? Twitter?
Yeah.
So this tweet I put out in March 15, and I said that from here the markets were really bad, and I said that now, read this, there will be more money on the long side at this point, and the odds of bounce or maybe a new leg are very high here. So in Feb, when everything was really bad, this is March, sorry, not Feb. This is that point where I tweeted. So it was really bad. But at this point, everyone, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about others, because I don't care what others are doing. But here, I said that things from here don't look really bad. The odds of money on the long side are more here. So based on that assumption, I started taking long trades aggressively, and it worked. And the reason why I've made good money here is because of the environment changed, and now even the indexes are trending about 20 DMA and respecting 20 DMA very nicely. Here it respected here, and you can see the rally is the start was so good that you had so many green days in a row. This is not normal. In fact, if you see the mid cap, small cap index, which I track a lot, you can see that this index had several green days in a row. This is like start of a new run, which I feel will continue. is just minor profit booking because of we are up a lot. Some 5-10% correction is very normal, but would we go back and do all this? I doubt, but again, I can always go wrong. The environment really makes your job easy. When we were here, I knew the upside is really good, so I was sitting in trades and not booking, and in fact that's why I had Zentech, which went up 100%. That's why I had NCC, which went up 30-40%. That's why I had Electra, which went up 50%, sorry, 30%. That's why I had Paytm, which went up around 30-40%. Why? Because everything supported me. The view supported me. Now we are not that young anymore. Just like if it was a stock, just like the way I explained Zentech, now we're not young anymore. So we need some profit booking. We need some weak hand to get out, and then I will be aggressive again. I was light here. I was aggressive here. So market environment really can make it easy for you. If you don't do the market environment analysis, then you would be aggressive here also, and maybe you are light here. So it's completely the opposite. You need to be aggressive somewhere here and light somewhere here. So market environment analysis is really important. You can decide whether you need to be aggressive or conservative. It
So
really
for the
helps.
indexes also, you count the like advancing basis, like you told in the Zentech, like after 3-4 basis, you know that this trend is now almost.
You can do the same in this stock. You can see this. This is your first, second, third, and finally after third, you had the biggest fall. This is the biggest fall ever. I mean, since the start of this rally, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
So it worked even on the index.
So this works for a bear trend also, like from the December when it started falling.
Bear trend was not, see, it usually works beautifully on the longer side.
Okay.
And because again, for this, I would have to make a longer video, but I am anyway a very long only person. I don't really short. And reasons are, again, I'm not getting into it, but more money, peaceful money is on the long side.
No, I'm not for a shorting, just for to understand that
it works. You can study 2008 and 2000, not COVID, because it was very swift. It just ended in 1 month. But if you go and study 2008, you will see it. It works there also. But if you see 4 bases on a short rally, yes, you will. I can guarantee you that there will be a U-turn from there. The odds of reversals are there from. In fact, if you read this tweet, why did I say this? My logic was here already mentioned here. Nifty on monthly chart is down 4 months in a row. It has never happened. This was the monthly chart of when I tweeted, and it has never happened since the start of 2001. All right. Sorry, once in the last 23 years, and never happened in Dow Jones. And I, in fact, added other charts also. Never happened on CNX 500. So that was a simple reason of taking a contra trade, and it worked.
Thank you so much.
I did not do any advanced or any complex analysis, and it just worked.
Okay.
And so I'm not just putting out analysis. I've invested money on it, and it made money like that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Paras, sorry, one second. Paras Trehan, unmute.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi Manas.
Yeah, hi.
So Manas, my question is with respect to the market breadth. So how important is the role of the market breadth in getting you out of the market in bad times? Is it more important, or the individual stocks, how they are performing in your portfolio, and what does your watch list look like? Those aspects are more important.
Okay, so market breadth on the daily basis, if you watch it, it will only stop you and warn you every now and then, and you will not be able to make money. The only time when market breadth is really important is around the extremes. Like the index is telling you that I'm very old, the rally is very old. And in fact, you see now the angle of just like the Zentech one has changed. The distance from the average is also high. At these extreme situations, you can go and verify with the market breadth. Even the market breadth was 1,500 stocks were up more than above the 50 DMA. So only around the extremes, you can add all this information together and decide you want to be aggressive or stay out of the market. This is where I was aggressive because only 90 stocks were above 20 DMA. And what can go wrong from that? 90 से 0 तो नहीं होगा. The upside is 1500. So everything was assumed here that 1 second. Paras, are you listening? You there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah, so at this point, I don't have the sheet here right now, but at this point, if you go and see on this date, the number of stocks about 20 DMA were around 100 or 150. All right, the upside is 1500 stocks. And Nifty on monthly chart was 4 months down in a row. Now, what can go wrong? 4 months से ज़्यादा कभी हुआ नहीं है. 150 stocks already down. इससे ज़्यादा क्या बुरा होगा? So if you really want to bet, you want to make money on the long opposite side, then if you want to really catch big moves, that is the ideal point. And it worked. And now we are 4 bases old. 1500 stocks are above 20 DMA. It has never happened that it goes to 1700. 1500 is the maximum limit. And that's why we are falling. And that's why I closed majority of my trades around these days. So you need to know the environment. And when you know the environment, you can decide your aggressive level or defensive level.
Right, Manas.
Not on the daily basis. If you study market breadth here, every day, it will keep warning you, and then you will miss out on taking trades. And I can tell you, even on these 2 days, a lot of stocks went up yesterday. Even, in fact, in my portfolio, stocks went up. Some went up even on these days. So there is something going up every day. But yeah, you have to take a broader view to decide what kind of market are we in. Is the upside good or the downside more? And that's how you decide. That's how I decide.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Arun Sharma.
Hello, Manas.
Yeah, hi.
Manas, my question is that previously you are using the active trading system, जहाँ पे आप एक दिन में लेके you try to close on that day, or you will continue on to hold it. But now you are like taking your positions as long as you want. So मतलब कुछ change आया है market में, या आप मतलब अलग style में play कर रहे हैं?
जैसे मैंने अभी बोला that you have to see first, do the environment analysis, and that's how you decide what kind of trading, what kind of duration you want to hold on. When we were this market here, the indexes are below all the averages. तो इस market में big moves मिलना कम है. So you have to keep that in mind, and then I was playing for 1 or 2 days or 3 days. When I did this analysis, जैसे मैंने अभी बोला, market breadth बहुत lowest पे थी. निफ्टी 4 महीने से डाउन था. अब यहाँ से और डाउन ज्यादा पैसे बनाएगा, यहाँ से अपसाइड ज्यादा पैसे बनाएगा. With that in mind, with this analysis, I decided to buy and not sell anything. I was buying every trade that this is my hero trade, and I'm not going to sell it. I will only sell it when market kicks me out. There is one tweet also for the same. This is how you search my old tweets, by the way. 28th April, I said, even with my years of experience, still fails to tell me with certainty the breakout will sustain or plummet. Hence, I don't interfere much. And then I see new traders rating. Anyway, my point here was, by letting the market decide my fate, I have 3 positions hitting new 52-week high when the markets are at lows. और ये तब की बात है, which is around 29th March. अभी मार्केट स्टार्ट भी नहीं हुई है चलना, और मेरे कुछ स्टॉक्स ऑलरेडी 52 वीक हाई बना रहे थे. क्यों? क्योंकि मैंने उनमें डिसाइड कर लिया था कि अब यहाँ से अपसाइड ही अपसाइड है. अगर आई तो, नहीं आई तो मेरा स्टॉप हिट हो जाएगा. अगेन मैं ये भी बोल रहा हूँ साथ में दैट आई कैन ऑलवेज गो रॉन्ग. बट अगर आई तो मैं क्यों 2 दिन के प्रॉफिट लेके बैठूं और ये पूरा मूव मिस कर दूं. और वो आई और मैंने ये पूरा मूव में अच्छे ट्रेड किए. तो वही बोल रहा हूँ, मार्केट एनालिसिस के हिसाब से यू डू योर ट्रेड्स. अब मार्केट उतना यंग नहीं है, तो इन दिनों में मैं जो भी ट्रेड ले रहा था साथ साथ एक दो दिन में काट भी रहा था. अब जैसी करेक्शन आना स्टार्ट हो गई है, अभी कहाँ जाती है मुझे नहीं पता, बट अगर ये अच्छी करेक्शन आई तो अगेन यही हो जाएगा दैट अपसाइड इज गुड फ्रॉम हियर. तो फिर अगेन then I will go aggressive and I will not sell early. I will take every trade is a hero trade. And जो ढंग से एक्ट करेगा उनमें मैं और पैसे डालता जाऊंगा, जो नहीं ढंग से एक्ट करेगा उनको मैं लात मारूंगा और आगे बढ़ूंगा.
Manas, if possible, can you share the natural gas trade that you took
अभी
yesterday?
देखो one by one we can do this on Twitter. There are others also waiting.
Sure. Thank you, Manas. Thank you.
Thank you. Ant. Yeah, Nishant.
Yeah. Hi, Manas.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the webinar. So this query was regarding the trill trade, transformers and rectifiers. So I saw on Twitter that you entered at around 81 point something, like 2 or 3 minutes into the start of the day. So what was your reason? Because volumes are not kicked in by then. Volumes must be like around 5-7% of average.
So I remember in this trade, do you know the strong start concept?
Strong start concept in terms of volume?
In terms of volume and the bar, how the bar is.
Okay, I'm not sure of the bar part, but even I have entered this the same day, but I could get in only at like 85 odd. So I was pretty extended, but so volumes kicking. But
see, the strong start is, for me, strong start is there a gap up opening?
Correct.
That's clearly there, right?
Correct.
And is the open and low same? It's there, right?
Correct.
And what does it mean? And just price action ke decode this meaning in layman's language. It means buyers are so strong that they are just taking the stock higher. Sellers are nowhere in picture. They could not even break the low of the day.
Correct.
Low is made by sellers. High is made by buyers. So low bana hi nahi paye usse niche. And buyers are just taking the price higher and higher. Okay? The first 2-3 minutes, I wait for that action कि लो तो नहीं टूट रहा, नहीं टूटा. और मैंने देखा था, मुझे याद है, मेरे पास I have shared my screen template on YouTube is also there and my website is also there. I have this relative volume bar here, indicator here, which tells me कि उन 2 मिनट में कितना वॉल्यूम हो चुका है. तो वहाँ I think I remember 2 मिनट में 8-9% हो चुका था.
Correct.
Usually stocks में अगर आप अगले 10-20 दिन तक ये ट्रैक करोगे तो 10% वॉल्यूम 2 मिनट में जब इतना इजीली होता नहीं है, बट जिनका हो रहा है तो कंबाइन एवरीथिंग, ओपन एंड लोअर सेम, गैप अप ओपनिंग देयर वो आल्सो कमिंग, तो फिर चांस तो लेना है ना. इट्स ऑल अबाउट टेकिंग चांसेस. फेल हो सकते हैं, बट अगर ढंग से करते रहोगे तो 10 में से 3-4 चल जाते हैं और देन दे गिव यू द मनी फॉर द all the other 7 trades also.
Correct. Like Ircon failed, उसमें भी वॉल्यूम्स अच्छे आ गए थे, पर Ircon for me failed. This was on this red. After that, the next day. So इसमें volumes had started kicking in. I could enter at around 80. I don't remember अभी क्या, but basically मैं ऊपर गया, ऊपर से नीचे आ गया.
I got it. See, it can fail. Even I have failed trades. It's not that I make money in every trade.
Correct.
But I'll tell you my experience. Stocks with this kind of volume, which moves 25 million volume, right. I don't trade these stocks. They don't really move very smoothly. Somehow, I mean, this is a very smooth move. This is a dream move if you catch.
Correct.
But I'm happy letting it go and make money from somewhere else. मैं नहीं करता हूँ, but decent volume stocks भी होते हैं.
Correct.
But ये जितने 30-40 million stocks वाले volume है, I usually don't touch them. Just call it whatever superstition or whatever, but I just don't touch them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for your feedback. Thanks.
Rahul Khemka. Yeah, Rahul, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, and thanks for hosting this.
Yeah. Hi.
So my question is about liquidity, and so taking Surya Roshni as an example, how do you calculate what's the maximum number of shares you can buy in a stock to avoid a liquidity issue? Do you take, say, 5% of average volume? Do you take 1%? How do you calculate the maximum biggest size you can take in a stock?
I made it very simple, and to avoid all these confusions. There, I don't know, there must be on Twitter also, but the only thing I look for is how many purple dots are there. Do you know this purple dot
Yes,
thing?
yes.
So more the merrier. If you have, like, you can clearly see in just these many days, there is this 1, 2, 3, and every time it's only on the green days. It's not on the down days. So this stock, whenever it moves fast, and it moves on more than whatever volume you set. I have right now set it at 500,000. You can set it at 1 million, 2 million, or whatever portfolio size you are. Most are okay with 500,000. But if you have a really, really big account, then you can increase it to maybe 1, 2 and experiment. Are you facing liquidity issues there? If you are, raise your this purple dot bar to maybe 3 million. But again, ये नहीं आएगा. 500,000 में भी 99% लोगों का काम हो जाएगा. So you can. So what I look for is, if there are good number of purple dots, I'm happy taking the trade there. If there are, this is a good reversal trade setup, but do you see purple dots except here?
Just one.
So, and if you have another name which has more than one, like this one is very liquid. So I'm happy going where it is. I know that liquidity is not a problem. So this is the only thing I look for. There should be good number of purple dots. And if there is absolutely zero, then I'm not even touching it.
So the purple dots, we can adjust the...
Depending on your size, start with half a million, 5 lakh shares, and see if you're getting liquidity. Take 10 trades. And if you, in those 10 trades, if a lot of slippages you're facing, then increase your purple dot from 5 to maybe 7, 10. How to add purple dots is the video is there on my website and on the YouTube.
And
channel.
while selling also, these issues like liquidity issues come up. Like,
see, if
those
you're
are mostly
selling,
with 5% circuits.
I don't even touch the 5 circuit names, because you get trapped, you get stuck in it. They only, when they go down, you will not be able to come out. So again, if you really love your money and you want to really do the risk management right, stay away from things that no matter how tempting they look, just stay away from them. I have tweeted about this stock, PC Jeweler. It went up like this and it came down just like this. So I'm okay where I can easily come out. I will only touch a stock which can give me like peaceful sleep, and I can easily come out anytime I want, even if it is in a loss. But अगर कोई यहाँ ले लेगा और बस फिर बाहर ही नहीं निकल पा रहा है from 77 to 21, then what's the
So you would avoid a stock if it's 5%. Basically.
I don't do them. 99% I don't do them. You will rarely see me do it. If I've done it, usually it is a mistake.
And if it changes the circuit to 20%,
I will
keep track of that.
Happily. 20% ही तो चाहिए.
But would you keep track of if it's changing from 5 to 10 or to 20?
See, I don't really every day. There is no way out to know unless you go to NSEindia.com every day to know what has changed or not. Usually 5% वालों पे नजी आ जाता है broker से when you buying them. And वो उनका, और again 5% वाले usually ये dot charts होते हैं. तो अगर ये मुझे charts में ही दिख रहा है that this is how it is moving, I will not buy them. Like recently, Apollo Micro site had a great setup. But it moves like this, so I did not even consider it.
Strong sector also.
It was a great setup, great chart. It started really strong start. It is up a lot, but I'm okay not making money out from it.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. Igna.
Yeah, hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Sir, my question is, the issue which I'm facing is, for example, whenever I'm 100% invested. So we have more stocks running up with the market, and basically to know the environment of the market. So shall we see more stocks, or we should stop seeing the market to affect that because that is affecting my psychology, like the fear of missing out. So what should I do? I should see the market, or I should not see the market at that time?
See, if one has fear of missing out ever made money for anyone, is it a positive term or a negative term?
It's a negative term.
Then I don't think, when you know that it is negative and it does not make money, so it should not really, I know it affects a lot of people, especially the new ones. But in life, there are so many things you're missing. You are invested in NSE, there is crypto going up, there is gold going up. When you're sleeping, US stocks are going up. Why do you not have a fear of missing out for all these three exchanges? Why only NSE stocks? So what you can't really be in everything everywhere. If you're 100% invested and you're not making money from that, probably you're not even doing it right. So moving to something else will not really make money for you. Agar 100% invested, maybe you're not making money, your stocks are not moving. Definitely you don't
they are moving excellently, but still, I mean, am I doing something wrong? Like, to know the environment of the market, I should be least bothered about it.
You should not. Again, I'm saying, if you are 100% invested, I'm sure you will be 100. The ideal way of getting 100% invested is when your first 50% made money for you, and then you put in more money, which means you took the right stocks and they went up. But if you just in one day, without waiting, you put everything in one go, that's not the right way. 100% without even seeing that, like, you invest 25%. If it goes up, that means you did something right. That's why the stock is going up. You bought the right stocks and they went up. Then you added another 25%, maybe in the same name or new names. Ideally, you should have 4 to 6 names in your portfolio, and that should be it. If you're having more than that, it becomes difficult to manage. Plus, you don't get the benefit of concentrated portfolio. So, fear of missing out ka answer ye hai that you can have all the fear, but it is not going to work for you. You have to tell yourself, it is a very lonely business. You have to keep telling yourself, moving from one stock to the other because the other one is going up is not going to really make anything for you. What you have bought, if the entire 5-6 names that you have and those 5-6 names are not moving at all for many, many days, not just one day, you can't decide in one day, then your stock selection maybe is wrong. But if things are moving, and just because your stocks are moving a little slowly, does not mean you should move to something else. I also have lean periods. I bought Zentech when nothing was moving and only Zentech was flying and markets were low. Then Zentech became extended and market started moving. Then Zentech stopped performing because it had already done, like, for example, this is the chart of index Nifty Midcap, and this is Zentech. So when I bought Zentech here on this day, you can see the arrow and you can see what the indexes were doing. Indexes were making new lows and my stock was making new high. But when index started making new highs, Zentech was already up 40-50%. So it was taking a rest. Does not mean that Zentech has gone bad. You have to see the whole picture. It ran before market. It is just only resting for new move, and then it rested and made a new move again. So if your stock is not doing much, does not mean it is bad. You have to see what it has done in the last 1 month. And fear of missing out is really something that, like in this market, so many stocks went up and I was not part of it. But whatever I was part of it, I made money from it. And I'm okay. And I'm very happy with that.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Satya.
Yeah. Thanks, Manas. First of all, thank you so much for doing this. Right. And this helps everyone. So I just wanted to know, what if, market condition is really good and you have more than, 10, 20 stocks in your watch list and all are set up nicely. So how do you decide where to take an entry? I mean, do you wait for, that particular, setup which you like the most, or the one which start moving first?
The one that starts moving first. The one that gives a strong start and triggers my reason of buying bus. It can, and it is still possible that today it started first, but the one started later on is crossed that one and is doing better. That happens and it will continue to happen. So there is no solution for it that you get to know that this stock is going to do better just because the setup looks better. Was the setup really good here when it was Feb? Do you really think it is a great setup that it can deliver 100% in just 1 month?
No.
But it did.
Yeah.
And a lot of clean setups. NCC was much cleaner setup. It was doing, if you see NCC, compare it with the index, NCC was in uptrend from much before. You can see the entire time it was going up and the entire time index was going down. But still NCC did not have a explosive move as explosive as Zentech did. So no one really can tell you the quality of move that is coming. Like I said, you have to make it easy for yourself. How to make easy? Make rules. And what is the rule? You select 5-6 names on your watch list, and whatever triggers first, I will go there and I will take 1 or 2 positions at a time. And if those 2 positions are acting well, then I'll put in more money. If not, then I'm not putting more money.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Aparna. Aparna, are you there? Sandeep Arora.
Hey Manas, I had a question around, in this whole rally that I saw, I had 2 issues. One was obviously selling was big. Second was how to pick the best stocks. I inadvertently always had many stocks that were setting up, but मेरे को ये समझ में नहीं आता था कि इनमें से चूज क्या करूं कि जो सबसे बढ़िया है उसमें पैसा किस में लगाऊं, तो मेरी लिस्ट बड़ी हो जाती थी. वो कैसे सॉल्व करूं?
I just answered this question. You basically want to know कि best कौन सा है, कौन सा सबसे ज्यादा देगा. The answer is there is no way to know that. You take trades, and the ones which are acting well, keep investing in them, and eventually, I know that in a year, only 10 to 15% are going to be Zentech kind of names. The every rest of the 90% names are only going to be singles. वो single लेंगे और जो small losers, the other 10-15% names are going to be my big winners, and they will give me the money for the entire year. So when I'm buying something, for me every stock is equal. I don't have favorites here because I don't know. I've seen the best of ones not working and the ugliest ones working really well. So there is no way you can tell in advance that I should, because this looks very, very clean, so I should put 90% of my portfolio in that. In my view, there is no way to know that this stock is really great and I should put in everything in this. So if you're trying to find an answer for that, unfortunately, there's no answer for that. My suggestion is treat all the names equally and build first position, 5 to 10% positions in them. And the ones which are acting really well out of those open positions, keep putting money. Like, for example, Bsoft, I created just recently. So I started creating a position on this day, and then next day did not really go down. Then it went down and closed almost near the high of the day. So I added some more here. So that's good behavior. The next day again did nothing. Third day, there is a strong start. I added some more on this day. Then nothing for next 2 days. And on this day, I have an entry here also. It's not marked. On this day, I added for just one simple reason. If you compare it with if you see what happened on this day versus what happened in the market, the markets were really bad on this day, and Bsoft was, in fact, it went lower, kind of a shakeout, and closed almost near the high of the day. So this is relative strength. It was wanting to go up from the last 3 days. It is not going down every time. It bounces from 333 level. And on negative day, it was really behaving strong. So I added more. So this is the kind of good behavior I'm talking about. If your position is acting good, keep pumping more money in it. And one will turn out to be Zentech out of all your tries. No one really knows. I had great position in this. It was acting really well, but then it collapsed. So I did not put more money in there. Bsoft acted well. I kept putting money there, and so far it is fighting. I hope, Sandeep, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, Manas. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Manas.
Yeah. Harish B. Harish.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Thank you. So again, I'm someone who's just starting, in the stock market in the cash segment. What do you, recommend in terms of finding what sort of setup do you recommend for someone like me?
You said you're starting out, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
I would say that start with very, very low amount. I'm getting this question every time I do a workshop. Like right now, there is this, I don't know if you know that there next month I have doing a new course, which is there. So I get, every time I do this, I get this message that how much money should I start with? I'm a new person. What is the minimum required? The answer to these questions for every new person is start with the lowest, even not just new, even the struggling ones. Start with your lowest amount, 10, 20,000, because you are guaranteed to make a lot of mistakes. And when every mistake in this business costs you some money. So if you know that you're going to make mistakes, so why not make mistakes on a very small amount so that these lessons don't really cost you a lot. And as with time progresses, if you're learning from your mistakes, your mistake sheet will have less mistakes. And when you have less mistakes and you're doing well, your trades are working, you have a better hold of how this business works, that's when you start putting more money. So that's the answer for capital. And to how to really gain some experience and knowledge, I will say start reading books of Mark Minervini, William O'Neill. These are really pioneers, and they will clear your basics, how stocks move. Don't just jump in because there is a pattern. Patterns don't make money. Pattern is just, like I said, I can teach the technical side to anybody in just 20 days and they will learn. They have learned. I've been doing this for years now. The only thing that takes time is understanding your behavior, not making mistakes, controlling your mistakes, and following the rules, the discipline basically. And teaching someone discipline is not an overnight thing. You have to turn yourself fully disciplined, and that takes time. So for advice for you is read the books, start with very small capital, like a negligible amount, so that you don't really feel bad after losing a lot of money. Initially, you will lose money, but keep it really small and start with those books. Follow good traders and follow how they're taking trades. Understand their mindset and not the chart. Spotting a great pattern on a chart is not award-winning step. It's something that anyone can do. You're not the only one who's spotting the setup. There must be so many people who spot the setup. Riding that trade and riding all the way from riding it all the way from 212 to 340, and in between these days, the days when it dropped from 260 to 230, when it dropped from 320 to 290, when it dropped from 340 to 288, if you can manage yourself in those bad days, that is what you really aim to learn. And that's what takes time. Spotting Zentek, spotting NCC, spotting Electra. I mean, don't get excited just because you spotted something. Your aim is to spot, execute, and ride it really well. That's when you are a good investor or trader or whatever. Harish, I hope I answered.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that definitely helps.
Thank you. Ehsan Chaudhary. I think I...
Hello, sir. It's Ishan.
Yeah, sorry, Ishan.
So could you please switch to the chart of Surya Roshni on a 5-minute scale?
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Yeah, I tried to enter this stock on 21st and 22nd by looking at the starting candles and the volume pop-up and kept my stop loss as the day low, but it didn't function. So what went wrong or what did I miss out? So could you please tell me?
On what was it?
21st and 22nd.
Nothing, they just didn't work. You did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It was on, this is the day when you selected it, right? On your watch list for next day. So it was a great setup. It just did not work.
Okay.
Though one advice here is don't look at 5-minute charts. The daily is enough. Look at how the strong start is on the daily. The 5-minute is anyway showing you gap up. Usually it is the gap up because of the LTP. Again, this is very complicated to explain. LTP is the price at which the last price was yesterday. TradingView does not, on intraday chart, does not show you. You can see what is the LTP of on this day. This is 832, 831. It's 832 to be exact.
32. Yeah.
Okay. So let me show you the closing of this date. It's not 832, it's 833.60. So do you see the difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the closing is actually 833, but your intraday chart is showing you 832. But they're not wrong because that's your LTP price. And intraday charts don't really show the final closing price, which comes at around 4 p.m. So always see the strong start on the daily is enough. I don't really, I mean, to know if there is a strong start, why do you need an intraday chart?
So just to get an idea of the volume pop-up, like I don't
the volume
get
pop-up, just add the relative volume indicator, go to my template. So
Okay.
the volume pop-up will show here also.
Yeah,
And in
that
fact,
I'll use.
chalo wo bhi nahi. If you don't need, just look at the size of the bar. If by 9 p.m. or sorry, 9:20, the bar is here and the previous was here, you know by the end of the day, it will be much higher than that. Again, if you still want exact numbers, then add the R relative volume indicator, which is here on this, not showing here right now, but
okay, yeah, I got
you
it.
can add it and it's there on my website on the YouTube. So again, my point is, you don't need intraday chart. I can see there is a strong start here, clearly a gap up. Do you not see the gap up?
Yes.
And the open and low are the same. And to know the volume, you can add that relative volume bar here. And you will know kitna percent ho gaya, and that's enough. Because anyway, intraday chart is showing you the gap with the LTP, and LTP is not the actual closing price. The closing price is the price on the daily chart.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nilesh.
Hi Manas.
Yeah, hi.
Manas, मेरा सवाल related to selling side है. So what are the some selling tactics that you use? And मैंने देखा आपके कई ट्रेड 50 मूविंग एवरेज 50 मूविंग एवरेज के बिलो जाने के बाद भी आप होल्ड करते हो. वहां पे आपका क्या रैशनल रहता है? I know selling is difficult. You mentioned couple of times earlier, but I still want to know more about selling. What are the things that you follow on that?
I don't think मैंने कोई स्टॉक 50 डे के नीचे होल्ड करा है. अगर है तो आप प्लीज दिखाइए.
जेनटेक
कहाँ है 50 डे के नीचे?
आपका पोजीशन था जेनटेक में.
अभी भी ये 20 डेज एवरेज है. 50 डे कहाँ है?
50 डे मूविंग एवरेज के नीचे है. ये जो दो पोजीशन आपने ली है ना, ये दोनों पोजीशन 50 डे मूविंग एवरेज के नीचे है. आप 50 डे मूविंग एवरेज डालो जेनटेक.
हाँ, अच्छा एक सेकेंड.
Yes. हाँ.
अब दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू बी. अगेन देखो, इसका एंगल इतना जबरदस्त है कि उसके नीचे 50 डे के नीचे आके स्टॉक क्या कर रहा है, क्या ऐसे मैच स्लो हो गया, उसका वॉलेटिलिटी ड्राई हो गया. So this is, I don't know if you're following me for very long. This is what I say, that you have to see the reaction around that. हर बार स्टॉक टच एंड गो नहीं करेगा. ये जितने भी टच एंड गो वाली एक्सपेक्टेशन रखते हैं कि 50 टच करेगा तो वहीं से बाउंस आएगा, ऐसा नहीं होता. ट्रेडिंग इज नॉट सो नीट और सो क्लियर. कभी कभी ये एडजस्टमेंट्स होती हैं दैट यू हैव टू सी कि उस लाइन के आसपास रिएक्शन कैसा है. क्या कोलैप्स कर रहा है प्राइस? कोलैप्स का मतलब है जैसे देखो ये 20 पे कोलैप्स कर गए, एक बार भी नहीं रुका, ठीक है, इसको मैं कोलैप्स बोलता हूँ विद वॉल्यूम.
राइट.
बट अब क्या प्राइस 50 के आसपास आके कोलैप्स कर रहा है, ये आया नीचे बट देयर इज नो वॉल्यूम, ठीक है, और नेक्स्ट 2 डेज में वॉलेटिलिटी ड्राई हो गई एंड दिस इज वेयर आई स्टार्टेड एडिंग.
नहीं मानस, लेकिन दूसरे दिन अगर आप देखो सबसे लास्ट वाला जो बार है जो रिजल्ट डे के ठीक पहले था, एकदम लास्ट वाला बार दिया आपके आपके लास्ट पोजीशन से दूसरी बार, फर्स्ट तक आप दिखा रहे हो, सेकेंड वन आओ या यहाँ पे तो 50 को इसने नीटली काट दिया, राइट. तो उसके
सर
बाद
मैं बोल तो रहा हूँ कि आपको देखना है कि साइज ऑफ द 2-3 दिन का देखो. इस व्हेन आई ओके स्टॉक यहाँ पर है और 50 डे पे कैसा रिएक्शन होगा मुझे देखना है. अगर मान लो मुझे ट्रेड होल्ड करनी है तो ठीक है, या मान लो मेरे पास ये नहीं है पोजीशन और मैं इसे ट्रैक कर रहा हूँ, तो मुझे देखना है 50 डे के आसपास ये कोलैप्स करता है या इट इज फाइटिंग दैट एरिया. एंड अब आप बता दो द साइज ऑफ द बार्स इज, ये छोटे होते जा रहे हैं कि नहीं. सेलिंग अगर आनी होती तो प्राइस नीचे आता ना और वॉल्यूम भी बढ़ता.
राइट राइट.
तो यही तो चांस लेना होता है कि इस जोन में. अब आप देखो, यू आर अ न्यू पर्सन, फॉर मी यू आर द रिटेल मनी विच इज स्कैर्ड ऑफ एंटरिंग हियर. आप लोग नहीं एंटर करोगे क्योंकि आपके हिसाब से 50 डे कट गया है, तो यानी ये ट्रेड क्राउडेड नहीं होने वाली. दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाई आई एंटर्ड. प्रोज एंटर हियर एंड और फिर आप लोग आओगे ब्रेकआउट पे कि अब चलो 50 डे के ऊपर आ गया, अब मैं लूंगा. तब तक तो कितना मूव आ गया, 15% इन जस्ट 2 डेज. यू हैव टू. मेरा एक कॉन्सेप्ट है इमरजेंसी स्टॉप का. इस पोजीशन, इस पूरी ट्रेड में आई हैड बुक्ड अराउंड गुड पोर्शन हियर. तो बचे हुए पोजीशन को मैंने छोड़ दिया था बिकॉज आई न्यू कि ये पहले ये 4 बेसिस हो चुके हैं तो ये रैली पहले रीसेट करेगी. उस रीसेट करने के लिए मुझे इसको अलाउ करना पड़ेगा नीचे जाना, अदरवाइज रीसेट कैसे होगा. उस अलाउ में मुझे साथ साथ एक ऐसा स्टॉप भी रखना है कि अलाउ का मतलब ये नहीं है कि ये 200 आ जाए और मैं देखते रहूं. तो मैंने एक इमरजेंसी स्टॉप रख दिया समवेयर हियर. ये लास्ट स्विंग है तो इसके नीचे थोड़ा सा, कि चलो मैं देखता हूं लेकिन मैं इससे नीचे नहीं जाने दूंगा क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं
बैक स्टॉप टाइप का, राइट.
एक तरह से मैक्सिमम वर्स्ट केस सिनेरियो है दैट आई वांट टू ऐड Zentek here, but while I'm checking how the reaction is around the 50 moving average does not mean कि मैं इसको कोलैप्स करूं और ओपन एंडेड छोड़ दूं. ये 200 आ जाएगा तो क्या मैं देखता थोड़ी ना रहूंगा. तो वही हुआ, ये वहां तक आया और नेगेटिव रिएक्शन नहीं दे रहा था. वॉल्यूम एकदम खत्म हो गए हैं. अगर सेलर्स बैठे हैं तो किस बात की वेट कर रहे हैं, व्हाई आर दे नॉट सेलिंग. एंड एवरी टाइम यू सी द, इस दिन को देखो ना, नीचे गया प्राइस और वापस ऊपर क्लोज हुआ है. तो सेलर्स तो नहीं है ना, ये दोनों दिन कोई ना कोई तो बचा रहा है इसको नीचे जाने से. और यही तो था, मैं यही तो रिएक्शन देखना चाह रहा था, दैट इट इज नॉट कोलैप्सिंग अराउंड द 50 डे. एंड दिस इज व्हाई आई क्रिएटेड 2 पोजीशंस अराउंड दीज 2. एक यहाँ लिया और यहाँ लिया और उसके बाद दोबारा इट मेड अ न्यू हाई.
या मानस, इसमें एक सब्सिक्वेंट क्वेश्चन ये था कि वो अगले दिन जो गैप अप हुआ है वो अर्निंग्स के कारण हुआ है. तो आप
वो ये मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि मुझे पता था ये होने वाला है. मैं बस ये बोल रहा हूँ मेरे को लेना है क्योंकि मुझे सेटअप पसंद है. वो हो गया गैप अप, दैट्स थैंक्स टू गॉड. बट हाँ, मैंने एक वीडियो मेंबर्स क्लब में डाली थी जो यहाँ अगर कोई मेंबर है वो वाउच कर सकता है. वो उसमें मैंने क्लियर बोला था कि अभी मोमेंटम, आई थिंक ये मैंने डाली ट्विटर पे भी, दैट अभी धीरे धीरे स्टॉक बढ़ेगा, मोमेंटम आएगा मिड पॉइंट के बाद ऑफ दिस होल. मिड पॉइंट है ये, पहले स्टॉक धीरे धीरे ऊपर आएगा और उसके बाद मिड पॉइंट के आसपास आने के बाद मोमेंटम बनाएगा और न्यू हाइज बनाएगा. हर बार ऐसा नहीं चलता कि जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ वो होगा. बट इस ट्रेड में इतना नीटली हुआ कि हर बार जब जब मैंने पोजीशन लिए, एवरी पोजीशन इज मेड मनी. सो टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन, if you're trailing with 50 DMA या 20 DMA or whatever moving average, it does not mean कि वो टच हो गया और क्लोज कर दो. आपको उसके आसपास देखना पड़ेगा whether that line is really important or not. और उस रिएक्शन को देखने के लिए साथ में एक इमरजेंसी स्टॉप रखो थोड़ा नीचे उससे, सो दैट ऐसा सिनेरियो ना आ जाए कि कोलैप्स कर गया स्टॉक और आप देखते ही रह गए.
राइट.
एक और एनसीसी में भी हुआ है अभी ये. एनसीसी आया नीचे. अब ये बड़ा गंदा रिएक्शन है, इसमें तो मैंने भी क्लोज कर दिया था. मैंने आई थिंक यहाँ समवेयर क्लोज 110 पे कर दिया था. बट कभी कभी एक दो दिनों बाद बाउंस बहुत अच्छा आता है और अब देख लो आप, स्टॉक इज बैक टू न्यू हाइज. ये बहुत पावरफुल सेटअप होते हैं वेयर इट फ्लशेस आउट ऑल द वीक हैंड्स. लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर आउट ऑन दीज डेज एंड द स्टॉक इज बैक एंड जस्ट मेड अ न्यू हाई. So these stocks are powerful setups and I'm just waiting for it to go tight again and then I will try what I made good money in this move. और ये होने जाने के बाद it gives me a confidence कि अभी भी बहुत कुछ बाकी है. If it really goes tight again, I'm tracking it and I will take a trade there. So moving average को touch करके bounce करेगा ऐसा नहीं होता है. Real picture is very real. In reality, things are not that easy. So you have to give it 2-3 days just to see the reaction around that line. और उस 2-3 दिन एक इमरजेंसी स्टॉप रखो. अगर अच्छा स्टॉक होगा देख लो, अगर अच्छा स्टॉक होगा तो बाउंस कर जाएगा. ठीक है.
या सो मानस टिपिकली
अब मैंने आपके 2 आंसर करे. आप ट्विटर पे मुझे मैसेज करना.
अच्छा ठीक है, ठीक है. थैंक यू.
Ganesh Goda.
Hello?
Yeah, Ganesh.
Yeah, hi. I have a question. So can you open like Bhagyanagar industry? That's a trade actually recently I took. I think, can you see after the, I think, weekly breakout, strong weekly breakout. There was a tightness there in 1 day time frame.
This one, no?
Yeah, this one. I think, can you open like 1 day time frame? I think 4 hours should be okay. Yeah, somewhere 56 rupees somewhere. I entered
56 pe you bought?
No. After the like 4 days consolidation. Yeah, somewhere there. Yeah, that was like, I thought that was a contract. I mean, that was a tightness something. So I bought.
How is this tight? This is. Acha, finish your question.
Okay. I bought it somewhere like 56 rupees somewhere there. Suddenly it went like 7 to 8%. So
see, the stock is one. It is very volatile. How is it tight? The size of all these bars are almost same as the previous bars. Tightness is like, look at this. So this is so volatile stock. It's dances in every direction. Or even now, after breaking out on this day, the size of the bars have not gone down. It's the high is 58 and the low is 54. That's percentage wise. In percentage, it's every day it's moving 5%. Can you really trade the stock with 2% stop? You can trade this with 10% stop, and 10% stops don't really give you good allocation. Otherwise, you'll have to take bigger risk. So if I want to take with a 2% stop, the stock which is moving every day 5% in every direction, that's a wrong selection, clearly. This is your tight day, small days.
Okay, I think, I thought that was a risky to enter that day because
it is dancing in every direction. It is a wild bar. It is a wild move. It is a wild stock. You had to let it settle down, go tighter, like that towel which is wet, and then you finally keep wriggle it. And once it is very, very small, that's when you attempt to do it. Right now, it's still very, very. In short, the answer is it's a wrong selection at the wrong time.
And like when you enter the position, do you go like a smaller time frame, or like will you enter like a 1 day or 4 hour time?
Day. Sometimes I do check 15 to catch reversals, but not doing 5 minute and all that. They will offer you so many trades that you will become a intraday or a trader or somewhere. The daily is my main tool.
Because sometimes I struggle, to go into like a lower time frame. So always like these days, I always choose like the 1 hour.
The daily is enough. And in fact, I answered your question looking at the daily. It is a wild dog.
Okay.
It is not tied from anywhere.
Okay. Thank you, Manas. Thank you.
Yeah. Peaceful Hawk. Oh, nice name. Yes, Peaceful.
Yeah. Hi. Good morning, Manas, and good morning, everyone. Actually, my name is not Peaceful Hawk. My name is Shashi. It's just a mnemonic that TradingView gave me, and I like it, so I held on to it.
Yeah.
So I have been following you, Manas, for more than, I think, about 2 years, and I have read the Mark Minervini books. It's been very valuable. I've learned a lot of things. I actually learned more than making money. So the learning process has been good. So recently I focused on last few months, I have focused very specifically on fixing a couple of problems. That is one, I think the first guy who asked the question had a similar one about the buying. And with regards to buying, I managed to fix it by looking at buy opportunities around 50% of the base height, where the stock is making decent tightness and contraction around 20 DMA, and I started to pyramid by quarter positions. So for example, you could take, let's say, Linde India, something like that, just for reference. Okay, so I have been able to manage that part as saying that I go in quarter positions and I add on to it. And if there is a bad move like what happened in somewhere around beginning of May, where it looked like it's going to break out and just build another base within that base, I got stopped out and I added back when it again created some tightness about, that's the area. Before that, I have felt more comfortable with anticipation buys than strong start. I have tried to learn the strong start that you have explained, but I have had several failures, mainly because of the way my lifestyle is set up here. I'm mostly busy at that time in the morning and I'm not able to really focus. And I ended up catching all the wrong stuff. I mean, everything looked, when I'm in hurry mode, everything looked the same. So I have moved myself towards a bit of anticipation mode. So where your hairline is highlighting slightly above, that's a slight few candles before that. Even before that, So somewhere there, I had my second entry. I had my first entry before, which got stopped out when it created this base. So I have managed to fix this by where I can progressively add a little bit of positions, like quarter positions at a time. But here is my key problem. Now, for the past few weeks, the market breadth has been pretty much heated up. Okay. And if you see the market breadth, it is very similar to what happened last August, September timeframe. And the problem is the stocks like this, Linde, AB Capital, Ugar Sugars, and all of them, they have, in my opinion, they have a very fantastic setup in terms of VCP, shakeouts, everything. And Linde did give a strong move, but not a really strong move. Some of the stocks haven't even given a strong move. Most of these core positions that I have given me a move of around 10 to 12%, and now they have come under around 5-6% kind of. Now, I know that historically stocks like this perform really well, but they go through this whiplashing period here, where what Linde has done in last 1 week. If you see that they have whiplashed, and based on your principles, I was able to add back one position when it made the low after breakout. The third, that doji kind of a candle next to that, that's where I was able to re-enter. But my main question is, around this time of the market, now I'm studying the market breadth. I know it is heated up and the correction has to come in. It started yesterday, pretty much yesterday. Sometimes, or in most times, even a good setups like this can just come crashing down. It may not completely lose the base. It might just that it will have a very significant drawdown. One, how to hold on to such trades and what would be the best way to manage. If it stops me out, it stops me out. If it stops me out, the problem is such patterns create a very unconventional move when it starts moving up. It won't create a proper VCP kind of a base. It just has some whiplashes to the bottom and then goes up, and I will never be able to catch. I have missed several good setups like that in past. This time I'm quite focused on not missing. So how do I manage this? One, if I get stopped out, Two, if I get stopped out, how do I capture some crazy moves that it could make?
Okay. Let me sum up your question. The question is, the strong start is not working for you because you are usually busy in the morning, and then what to do with that. So to answer this, there is another way of, most of the time I'm adding these days using a busted, what I call a busted trade. And I've shared it in 2020 on my Twitter also. You there? One second. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I had unmuted. Yes. I had muted myself by mistake.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just 2 days or 3 days back, I bought this natural gas. I'm just giving you an example of how I bought it. So there is this, I have this 4-screen layout, and I've shared it on my website on YouTube also. So it's daily, weekly, and then hourly and 15 minutes. So let me open natural gas. So if I like something on the daily, like if you've been tracking Linde and you like the setup on daily, then this was the lowest point. Let me just increase the size. Yeah. This is the lowest point. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. So this is the lowest point of natural gas, right? Now the stock makes a new low.
Okay.
But refuses to go down. Now, just if you want to, can explain in layman terms, what does it mean?
So
okay, let me add one point here.
Okay.
Usually there are people who buy, if someone is buying, then he would buy with this stop loss, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then after that, so I know that a lot of stops are here, placed here. So if the stock makes a new low, it should attract selling because a lot of stops are hit. The stock should collapse, but it's not collapsing, which means the stock is refusing to go down. But then a few minutes later, it did collapse. But right after that, it made a new high. So it is not really, it is second 2 times in a row. It is not really going down. So that's, I call it busted. Sellers are trapped here. They fail to take the stock lower. And and that was my reason of buying natural gas. Where is the tweet? So my first trade is at 213 and the tweet is 21st June, 8:26 p.m. And if you see the time, this is around the time when I bought it. Hello?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
so to give you a different way of entering a stock, if you don't want strong start, what you can do is you spot the lowest point where you want to see the reaction of the trade. I'm not saying you buy here. You set an alert here.
Manas, my question was actually on the selling side. What I tried to say is, since I'm not able to do the strong start, I'm into more of an anticipatory setup kind of a thing. But my main question was during current market conditions where market is pretty much swollen up and a correction is due. The stocks like Linde, Sugar and other things which have a very good setup and we have pyramid of positions there. How do I manage that in terms of, for example, if it stops me out, if it comes to my break even, I'll probably stop out and I'll get out of the trade because they have made moves of around 10 to 12% and they have retraced back. If it hits my break even, I might get out. But my biggest problem, what I have observed is such good stocks which have around breakout or had given a small breakout and retraced, when they shake out people, and they turn back and make a significant move and start going up without giving any viable opportunity.
This is what I'm explaining. If you track them like this, if you have a great position which stopped you out, just because you stopped out does not mean you take your eyes off. You set an alert on an important turning point. Like here, at this moment, this is a very important point because this is the lowest point. This is a pullback of natural gas. And if you see the daily, this is the pullback. This is Linde India, just like the stock goes up and is now collapsing, right?
Correct.
So on a smaller frame, I set an alert at this point. Alert does not mean buy. Alert only means go and see what is happening. That alert got triggered here. Now I set an alert that within next 30 minutes, it should, I want to again see what happens in the next 30 minutes. Why 30 minutes? I mean next 2 to 3 bars. So 30 to 45 minutes, sooner the better. If it is taking longer, the quality of reversal goes really bad. That's what I follow. So if this alert gets triggered in the next, let's say it gets triggered at 11 a.m. Now, by 11:30, I want to see a great U-turn. A great U-turn means this is a great U-turn, strong U-turn. And 11:30, this is not a great U-turn. So, but it made a new low again. So now the same logic, it made a new low again, that and next 30 minutes, I want to see a great U-turn. And the great U-turn came this time.
Okay.
So that's it. This is my pullback trade. On a daily frame, your Linde is collapsing. But on a smaller frame, it is telling me that it is refusing to collapse any further. And I added 213, my first position. And it went to 225. And just last evening, I added more at 2185, and I can show you the same behavior happened at. I set an alert here because it was, imagine this is your daily chart. The stock is coming down. It set an alert. Massive fall. Now within the next 2 to 3 bars, I want to see good reaction, good U-turn. And you can see it's making new highs, refusing to go down. And I just bought that it is for, in this case, actually the reaction is like 5 bars, green bars in a row. And you don't, in fact, now you can even compare it with this low. There is this slight undercut. If you see, this is the low, of, so the stock is refusing to go down from here, and here the same reaction is basically, I'm trying to see that selling is not coming and these guys have been trapped. And I entered at 218 and I was rewarded instantly. The trade has closed. I still hold everything. I have not closed anything. Like I said, I'm buying everything thinking this is a hero trade. I'm not really in the mood to sell so early because this is just coming out of a big base. If you see the weekly here, and my only objective is to take a starter position. And then if it pulls back, look at the smaller frame. If the smaller frames gives me these good reactions, I'll add more to it, which I did. In the coming days, if it goes to 240, 230, and then again collapses, I will add more, goes higher. So to answer your, to solve your strong start problem, this is the technique that you can follow. Just set an alert and then set the second alert of 30 minutes. In those 30 minutes, if you see good reaction, take good trades, but apply only when the setup on daily. This is the problem. Don't make this mistake that you now start tracking 15 minutes. If you have a great stock on the daily,
correct,
then you can use the smaller frame to enter into the in that stock. In your example, Linde, let me show you the Linde example. So I would have added, Linde is great on daily. So I would have added Linde here. You can see it's it undercut and then immediately took a U-turn. This was an important point.
Yes.
This is non-negotiable, no doubts about it. This is a very important point. The stock makes a new low, but immediately I did not have to even wait for next 30, 40 minutes. It immediately bounced and gave a good reaction. That's your add point. I would have added Linde here. No one's adding here. Everyone's adding on the breakout on the daily chart with the higher strong start. And I have an early advantage. I enter before. Be soft, my trade, which is going on right now. Now you can see it yourself.
Okay.
That's your good reaction. This is where the price made a new low and immediately reversed in the next 30 minutes. That's your busted
did you add this position? Can you show me the daily?
I have, you can check the thread on Twitter. I'll have to, daily, this is how the daily looks like.
Okay.
I started adding here, and on these days on lower frame, I accumulated. And so far, the stock is, I bought at 333, 335, 337. And now the stock is 343. This is on a negative day. Yesterday, we had a really bad fall, but it's fighting.
Yes, this is similar to RVNL as well. And
yeah, all these stocks are to cut it short. If strong start is messing you up, you can try the busted method to enter on a pullback, enter after some correction.
So what would be the percentage there where you would say it's a healthy to add, because we don't
There's
want
no
to
percentage. Just see an important point, set an alert there, and see how the stock is reacting. Let the stock validate your view that yes, this is a good point and I'm not going down further. Then you add. I've never cared about percentage. I just draw a line there and I see if the reaction is good or not.
So your principle and what you have said always is just to buy as early as possible with the strong start, right? So let's say the stock has already made 4 to 5% move and now has pulled back only.
I'm answering pullback. Strong start is something else. I'm saying that.
So in the pullback, let's say the start is so strong that it has made more than 5-6%, and in the pullback it's only coming and validating, let's say around 4%. So even if I buy that place, it's about 4% from the strong start method. So do you think that is still a good way to manage this reward?
I will not take anything which is up 4-5% already.
Okay.
I will let it, in fact, pull back, and on a smaller frame, give me a busted formation where it throws out people and then refuses to go down and gives me a good reaction. I will enter there. I prefer that.
Yeah, perfect. Makes sense.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Vansh Gupta.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
सर स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टार्ट तो सर जैसे कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आ गया, बट कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि आप सर हैमर फॉर्मेशन हो रहा होता है लाइक 11 AM और 12 PM, तो आप उस टाइम भी बाय कर लेते हो पोजीशन। सर वहां पे आपका माइंडसेट क्या रहता है पोजीशन को मतलब बाय करने का?
यही जो मैंने अभी एक्सप्लेन करा, स्मॉलर फ्रेम पे कोई ना कोई इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट से रिवर्सल आया होता है तो मैं जाके उसको ले लेता हूँ। बट डेली में अच्छा था स्टॉक, वो नीचे आ रहा है, स्मॉलर फ्रेम पे देखता हूँ और आने से मना कर रहा है इससे नीचे, ये देखो। और ये फिर यहाँ पर मैं छोटा सा और ऐड कर लेता हूँ, धीरे धीरे करके पोजीशन बढ़ाना स्टार्ट करता हूँ बस।
थैंक यू।
ठीक है। अविनाश।
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Manas. Thank you very much. I'm a part of the Bootcamp 2.0.
Yeah, I know.
I really wanted to ask some question, but most of the question has been covered and I got answered. But still, I just wanted to express my heartfeltness. Thanks for the tremendous impact you really had on my stock market trading. And your emphasis is on the discipline, patience, and risk management has been really instrumented in my shaping the mindset as a trader. I deeply appreciate it, and I really thanks for everything. Thank you very much.
Okay,
I don't have any question.
Avinash, since you are here, why don't you share? Okay, let me ask you a question. People who are new here, just listen to this very closely. Do you really think that spotting stocks make good money, or the discipline, the changes in the behavior that you brought in yourself, that changed the game for you?
Okay, so very honestly answer, I can spot, that a stock can buy to the next day, daily 4 to 5, but that the riding that stocks is really hard, and it eventually come by a trading by the disciplined manner, and that you have to have a set of rules. And you have to be build up the mindset in such a way that you have to be very much focused on what you want to trade, and you have to prepare what you really want to trade for the tomorrow, the previous night, not in the real market.
If the ones who are struggling, उनको क्या करना चाहिए कि stocks चार्ट पे ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड करना चाहिए, या जो आपका पोस्ट इवैल्यूएशन है कि आपने सही डिसीजंस लिए, राइट मैन ढंग से किया नहीं किया, उस पे ज्यादा ध्यान देना चाहिए?
I would like to be a post evaluation, so regular routine बताता हूँ. So whatever I do a scan after 7:30 and 8, hardly half an hour में पूरा scan हो जाता है. If I do have a 4 to 5 position really open, I do not tend to open a new position. Rather than I would like to spot an entry to add a more position on my existing trade. That is the first rule. And if really I have some fund and really 1 or 2 positions really need to be open, then I would find to a new entry and I spot, that the pre-market and post-market may really I'm doing a slide, that taking a screenshot, making a journal, and daily पे review करता हूँ कि what's really went wrong and what's really went good. So categorize करना है कि आपको आपकी पर्सनैलिटी को क्या सूट होता है और क्या सूट नहीं होता है. That has to be find out by yourself, not looking into the market what's really suit for you.
So can I just say, to sum it up, charts are 10% and 90% is management, right?
Exactly. So for example, right now I am riding JBMA, a good trade. Okay, so I had a book a good profit in that. So I had entered into the that on this the biggest bar. Okay, so this biggest bar around 8:30, and I have been added a position for the first day, second day, and 3, 4, 5th day, and I stopped and I had a book of half profit in the 3 days prior to fall this.
ठीक है. So again, to everyone, just this is one real case where I am. This is what I said. Please don't think that you get great at analysis and start spotting charts will really change anything for you. You will have to do the right management and the discipline of not really getting tempted with booking profit on this day and being okay with seeing your profits erode on these days. You have to just stay with, again, you will learn with time, but charts is just a very, very small role, and this one person has verified it. Thank you. I'll move on to the next person.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Manas, and all the best to all of you.
Thank you. Dishant.
Hello.
Yeah. I bought at 8:32. My stop is below the low of the day. अगर stop हो गया तो I'm out, नहीं हुआ तो अच्छा behave करेगा, जैसे मैंने अभी बताया Bsoft की तरह every day positive clues देगा. Every evening after the day is over, I evaluate कि आज का दिन इसने ढंग से behave किया या bad behave किया. अगर मुझे 2-3 bad behavior दिखेंगे, 2-3 violations दिखेंगी, तो मैं position close कर देता हूँ. अगर अच्छे से behave कर रहा है तो मैं आने वाले दिनों में ऐड करने का ट्राई करता हूँ. लुकिंग एट अदर वेज, स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टार्ट हो गया और ये जो बस्टेड मैंने अभी बताया ऐसे हो गया तो करूँगा. इसके अलावा मुझे कुछ नहीं पता. हो सकता है कल एक गैप डाउन हो जाए 10% और मुझे ज़्यादा लॉस हो जाए, वो भी पार्ट ऑफ द गेम है, मैं उसके लिए भी ओके हूँ. बट मुझसे कोई भी व्यू पूछता है, मेरे को कोई व्यू नहीं है, क्योंकि यहाँ दिस इज एन एवर चेंजिंग मार्केट. एवरी मिनट देयर इज अ प्राइस चेंज, एवरी सेकेंड प्राइस इज चेंजिंग. किसको पता कौन सा एक ब्लॉक डील वाला बंदा कहीं पूरे वर्ल्ड में बैठा है जो अपना एक ब्लॉक सेल करेगा और ये प्राइस कोलैप्स कर जाएगा, तो सारी एनालिसिस उसी समय जीरो हो जाएगी. तो इसलिए कोई व्यू नहीं है. ट्रेड सेटअप अच्छा है. आई बॉट इट. आई हैव अ वेरी स्मॉल पोजीशन इन इट. अगर ये बिहेव करेगा आई ऐड मोर टू इट. सो इससे ज़्यादा मैं नहीं जानता हूँ स्टॉक्स के बारे में. ठीक है.
बट माय क्वेश्चन इज अभी जैसे स्टॉक जहाँ पर है तो अभी मतलब ट्रेनिंग स्टॉप लॉस इसमें कैसे रखोगे अगर आपके बाय पॉइंट्स एकदम नजदीक है?
अभी तो मेरा स्टॉप डे लो है. ट्रेल में तब करूंगा, अपना स्टॉप में तब बढ़ाऊंगा. मान लो ये लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल व्हेन आई बॉट Zentek, तो जब मैंने Zentek फर्स्ट टाइम लिया था तब मेरा स्टॉप मैंने 215 पे लिया था, मेरा स्टॉप डे लो था 212. अब ये हो गया 234. तो और उस टाइम पे मार्केट यंग थी. अभी मुझे पता है अपसाइड बड़ी अच्छी है, तो मेरे को कोई जल्दी नहीं थी स्टॉप को क्लोज करने की, तो मैं ज़्यादा जल्दी एग्रेसिवली स्टॉप भी रेज नहीं कर रहा था. मैंने बस अपना 234 था तो मैंने ब्रेक इवन कर दिया था कि चल मैं मैक्सिमम मेरा ये जो प्रॉफिट है ये जाएगा, पॉकेट से कुछ नहीं जाएगा. तो वो काम करता गया. अब जब यहाँ पहुँच गए थे तब मेरा ट्रेलिंग स्टॉप लॉस इस लाइन की क्लोजिंग बेसिस था, 20 मूविंग एवरेज की क्लोजिंग बेसिस पे। वाई क्लोजिंग बेसिस? बिकॉज लाइक आई सेड, मुझे रिएक्शन देखना था कि 20 डीएमए पे बाउंस करता है कि नहीं। उस रिएक्शन को देखने के लिए एक इमरजेंसी स्टॉप है जो मैंने बूट कैम्प 2 में भी और 1 में भी बताया कि अविनाश कैन ऑल्सो अगेन इन द चैट राइट द इमरजेंसी कॉन्सेप्ट, कि देखो तो सही वहाँ कैसे रिएक्शन करता है। उस देखने के लिए थोड़ा बहुत तो रूम देना पड़ेगा। और जब जब वो यहाँ आया तो वो बाउंस कर रहा था, तो इट वर्क। बट एक पॉइंट आता है जब बाउंस करना बंद कर देगा, क्योंकि रैली बहुत ओल्ड हो जाती है। और वो जब 4 बेसिस रैली ओल्ड हो गई थी तो मुझे पता था ये 20 के नीचे भी जाएगा अभी और वो गया और ये वीडियो में भी, प्रूफ में भी है। तो जब नया था तो मैं ट्रेल कर रहा था 20 से, जब वो काफ़ी ओल्ड हो गया था तब मैं 20 से ट्रेल नहीं करता हूँ, फिर मैं मार्केट प्राइस पे बुक कर लेता हूँ। तभी मैंने 340 पे सेल किया हुआ है, ट्विटर पे ट्रेड में है। तो सूर्य रोशनी को अभी कैसे करना है? अभी तो डे लो है, अगर कल को बढ़ेगा और 20 डीएमए मेरे स्टॉप से, अभी 20 डीएमए 806 है और मेरा स्टॉप है 820, तो अभी तो मैं इससे नहीं ट्रेल कर सकता। अगर ये कल को सूर्य रोशनी यहाँ आ जाता है लेट्स से 900 पे, तो 20 डीएमए भी थोड़ा ऊपर आ जाएगी, तब मैं 20 डीएमए से ट्रेल करना स्टार्ट कर दूंगा क्लोजिंग बेसिस पे। ठीक है। Dishant, I hope I answered you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Vimal.
हेलो, हाँ, हाय मानस।
हाय।
आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में भी जो है ना, मैं जैसे फॉलो करता हूँ, मैं जो है वीसीपी और एक टीए प्लॉट करके जो है यूएस के, वो उनका एक इंडिकेटर है स्लिंग शॉट, विच आई सपोज इज जस्ट लाइक योर ब्लू डॉट। उसको मैं फॉलो करता हुआ जो है उसको लेता हूँ। तो उसके हिसाब से मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये स्टॉक अभी आपने जो लिया उसमें अभी और डाउनफॉल बचा हुआ है। एंड एक इंडिकेटर है एनके स्टॉक टॉक वालों का, बिहार का है, उसमें जो है वो 21 डे मूविंग एवरेज का वेटेड जो है ना उसको प्लॉट करते हैं आरएसआई के ऊपर। तो उसके हिसाब से अभी स्टॉक में जो है फॉल जो है काफी है अभी। इसलिए मैं ये जानना चाह रहा था कि आपने जब डीएलएफ लिया तो उसका क्या रीजन है?
अब देखिए बाकी क्या बोल रहे हैं वो तो मैं नहीं बता सकता। मेरा सिंपल रीजन है, इट इज डाउन आउट ऑफ 5 days, it is down 4 days in a row, and that's it. And the reality sector has outperformed every other index. You can
yes
reality is up the most. Even now it is 36% up, highest is 42% up. कोई भी ऐसा इंडेक्स नहीं है जो 42% up है। तो मैं स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट सेक्टर में स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट स्टॉक जो पुल बैक दे रहा है, और अगर मैं आपको इसका स्मॉलर फ्रेम दिखाऊं तो वो ये मैंने यहाँ कहीं ऐड किया है, बिकॉज इट रिफ्यूज टू गो लोअर, और आई फॉलो 4 to 5 days in a row पुल बैक स्ट्रेटजी। दिस स्टॉक वाज डाउन अ लॉट और स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट सेक्टर है, स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट स्टॉक है, तो चांस ले लिए। और कोई रीज़न, बाकी इंडिकेटर बाकी क्या बोल रहे हैं वो भी गलत हो सकते हैं और मैं भी गलत हो सकता हूँ।
नहीं, बिल्कुल बात सही है। तो
ये रीजन है।
इट वाज जस्ट माय थॉट कि जो है मेरे हिसाब से ये थोड़ा सा अभी और
हाँ हो सकता है, बट मेरा रीजन ये था कि मैं एक स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट मर्चेंडाइज को पुल बैक पे खरीद रहा हूँ। अगर बाउंस आएगा तो रियलिटी, और सेकंड स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट सेक्टर है ऑटो, सीएनएक्स ऑटो। अगर आप सीएनएक्स ऑटो देखोगे तो दिस इज कॉल्ड टॉप डाउन अप्रोच। सबसे ज्यादा कौन सा चीजें भाग रही है मार्केट में, तो ये वो 2 इंडेक्स है। 1 second। %21। आप सारे इंडेक्स देख लो, इन दोनों के अलावा कोई भी 20 से ऊपर नहीं है। तो ये दोनों सेक्टर्स में जो भी पुल बैक दे रहा है, once the correction is over, the pullback is over, in my opinion reality will bounce and auto will bounce the strongest. So ये मेरा रीजन था, यही रिस्क है स्टॉप होगा तो 1 जाएगा और गेन आएंगे तो 10-15 पॉइंट आएंगे.
थैंक यू. थैंक्स.
थैंक यू. We have only 15 minutes left. So maybe just 1 or 2 more questions. Others can, I hope, are learning from what others are asking. Vivek. Yeah, Vivek.
Yeah. Hi, Manas.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? I've just joined your bootcamp, the next month bootcamp.
That's fast and fortunate, not bootcamp. Anyway,
okay.
Same thing. We've done something.
Yeah. Actually, my question is, I've been following you from last few months. My basic problem is I can spot the stocks very well. The only problem I'm facing is my watch list. Actually, I have such a big watch list because I keep on tracking, scans, stocks. So, I mean, the watch list is becoming bigger. And my question is how to manage my watch list.
So this is a very common question. Everyone has this problem. Even I had this problem. So the answer to this is you stop deliberately at some point. मेरा एक thread है, what are your trading problems? उसमें भी ये question पे मैंने answer किया है that once I have a list of 7-8 names ready, I deliberately put a stop there. That's it, because इसके आगे I cannot keep going and clutter my list with so many names. If I can't make money from those 7 names, there is any way I'm doing something wrong. So to answer this is when you have 7-8 names ready, put a stop there. और उसमें से जो भी trigger आपका करेगा, take that trade. And you will not, I have not faced any problem with it. Yes, I miss out. Like this is वही वाली बात है. Bitcoin जा रहा है, gold जा रहा है, US stocks जा रहे हैं, तो FOMO होता है ना. ऐसे तो इस watch list के बाहर भी जो भाग रहा है should not really concern you because there is no end to it. If it keeps concerning you, you will just go mad. कि जो मैं ले रहा हूँ उस मंडे को मैंने ये लिया लेकिन मंडे को कुछ और भाग गया. बट आपका स्टॉक भी भागेगा, मे बी वेंसडे भाग जाएगा, बट पेशेंटली वेट करना पड़ता है और यही मैं करता हूँ फॉलो.
Okay. And regarding watchlist only, the question is actually I've been following your scanners. You told like you check 1 month high and 3 month high scans. So should I add both of them to one watch list?
कर सकते हो. सब में कॉमन 90% कॉमन ही आएंगे नेम. आप सब इन दोनों वॉच लिस्ट का पर्पस क्या है? यू फाइंडिंग स्टॉक्स which are going up, which has buying force, which are making new highs, and that is what we need. We need names which have buying force, and you keep collecting those names. And at some point, अगर आपके स्कैन में आ जाए वो नाम, does not mean that the trade will be there tomorrow. You save that name in your watch list, and in the coming days, there might be an opportunity in some name, and then you select it for the actionable watch list, and then you put your bids there, or maybe alerts, and then take the trade. Yes, in strong markets, इतने सारे options होते हैं, you get confused. In bad markets, options ही नहीं होते हैं, that you don't have trades. So to solve the problem is that you draw the line at 7-8 names and don't worry beyond that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for.
Thank you. Akshat Gupta.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Manas sir. I am Akshat from Kanpur. I just want to ask one question. 2 months ago, I passed my class 12th, and now since 4 years, I'm into stock market and cash stocks. I want to ask which course or degree should I pursue to become I like this field and I am really doing well. Touch wood by God's grace and your help. And I'm planning to do CFA and CMT as a course or MBA finance. आप कुछ suggest करेंगे अच्छा इसके अलावा?
देखो, I don't know much about CFA and all that, but I do suggest one thing, that don't make stocks your only thing. You are very young. You have the best advantage that you have, which we don't have, is you have time on your side. You can do all this with your job or your business, and keep doing this just 1 or 2 hours a day initially. बाद में थोड़ा practice भी हो जाएगा तो 30 minutes भी नहीं लगेंगे. जैसे अभी अविनाश ने बोला, scanning after a practice of good 1 year, ये सब 15-20 मिनट का काम होता है. और इनफैक्ट एक टाइम के बाद वो स्कैनिंग भी नहीं करनी पड़ती. I don't scan every day. क्योंकि मेरे को पता है मेरे ये 10 फेवरेट वॉच लिस्ट है और फोकस लिस्ट है, इन्हीं में मैं ट्रेड्स ढूंढता रहता हूँ. सो वो पॉइंट के बाद वो टाइम भी नहीं लगेगा. सो टू एवरीवन हु इज वेरी यंग, स्टॉक्स आर वेरी वेरी लोनली बिजनेस. सिर्फ यही मत करो. इंट्राडे तो बिल्कुल I would not suggest you, because it will really really stress you out, and
Yes, sir,
you will
definitely.
spend your initial important years in all this stress, which is not good. साथ साथ
Yes.
कुछ ना कुछ income source रखो and keep
Okay.
doing this, keep doing stocks, because maybe I'm not saying that it can really pay you well if you're doing it right. और अगर अभी तुम how old are you?
Sir, my age is 18 years. Sir, अभी
तो
1 महीने पहले आया था.
क्या नाम? Sorry, I forgot your name.
अक्षत गुप्ता सर.
अक्षत अगर you are only 18, अगले
Yes, sir.
सिर्फ 2 या 3 साल यानी मैक्सिमम 21 तक सिर्फ
Yes.
प्रैक्टिस करो. Even if you
Okay.
lose money, that's all right. But by
Yes, sir.
21, I can tell you, you'd be better than 99% of the newcomers. And
Yes, definitely.
you have 9 years by the time you're 30. I can
Yes, sir.
guarantee you that if you're doing this it right, you will be financially independent person by 30. Matlab, people make mistakes of making money overnight, and it does not work like that. If
Yes,
you
sir.
start early and do it with the right approach, that
Yes, sir.
I'm only going to learn for next 2-3 years, pocket money मुझे
Definitely.
और job से मुझे पैसे मिलेंगे, I will live my life with that.
Definitely,
These 2
sir.
years I'm not making money, but
Mm.
once you learn it, then for next, if you start well from at 21, and in next 9 years, I can tell you, you will
Yes,
be a
sir.
financially independent person. You may not have to work for a full-time job after that. But again, you
Thank you
don't have
so
to
much,
leave your
sir.
job.
Yes,
No one
sir,
has to leave this
definitely.
job. This is possible with, everybody should have one source of income. Then you
Yes.
will flourish. You will do much better in stocks than somebody who has no source of income.
ओके सर, मेरे को मतलब एक चीज और पूछनी है. जैसे सिंस द एज ऑफ 16 इयर्स मैं मंथली 20,000 की SIP कर रहा हूँ, जो मैं
Great.
अपने खुद से अर्न कर रहा हूँ. एंड सर, मैं अगर आपको बताऊं तो मैं
हम्म,
मंथ का 3 से 4% कैश में ट्रेडिंग से निकाल लेता हूँ. लेकिन सर
हम्म,
मैंने आज तक कभी भी लाइफ में FNO का एक भी ट्रेड लिया नहीं है, क्योंकि मेरे पेरेंट्स ने वो सेगमेंट ही ब्रोकर में बंद कर रखा है. तो फिर सर आप ये सजेस्ट करेंगे कि अगर मैं एक अच्छे कैपिटल पे, जो कि 20 से 30 लाख के, मतलब आपके लिए तो बहुत छोटा है लेकिन मेरे लिए 30 लाख इज गुड इनफ, अगर मैं उसका मंथली का 3 से 4% निकाल रहा हूँ पिछले 2-3 साल से, तो क्या मैं फ्यूचर्स एंड ऑप्शंस में निफ्टी, बैंक निफ्टी में एंटर करूं कि ना करूं?
अभी तुमने इम्प्रेस किया और उसके बाद ऐसे क्वेश्चंस. बट अगेन, सी, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट गेटिंग इंडिपेंडेंट एंड यू टॉकिंग अबाउट 3% a month. There is huge difference in the mindset. I'm talking
Yes,
about
sir.
retirement, early retirement, lot of money in your 30s. For that,
Yes.
learn the art of investing and staying invested in stocks, and not really targeting 3%, 4%. There are months you can make 20% in a month in good
Definitely,
months.
sir.
So just focus on the right foundations. Do
Yes.
not think about SIP you're doing at 16 is I mean, कौन सा आजकल बच्चा करता है, बट अगर if you're doing it, great. फोकस
Yes,
ऑन
sir.
राइट थिंग्स. अगले 2 साल सिर्फ लर्न करो. थोड़ा बहुत लॉस
Okay.
होगा, कोई बात नहीं. पैसे
Okay.
कमाने के लिए you have
जी.
really good time on your side. Lot of people don't have this time. You're very young. You have right practices. Don't go
Yes.
into the direction of making 3% a month kind of
Yes, sir.
mindset.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, one last question. I don't know if it will auto cut off at 1:30, but I will. If it auto cuts off at 1:30, then that's it. I can't do much about it. Last question, Khushi.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that what was the reason that you moved from weekly inside bar strategy on daily charts to weekly charts and trading daily?
Ulta बोल रहे हो.
Sorry.
Why did I move from weekly to daily?
Yeah.
Just because I could enter lot of names much earlier than I have evolved from, see, weekly, if I'm following weekly inside bar, then my trigger is buying above that inside bar, right?
Yes.
But if I can go on smaller frames and see I just give you a busted way, I can enter before others and have that extra advantage. So that was my reason. I could find more trades which delivered even better than that. Not that the other that does not work, it works, but I can enter. See, weekly में क्या है कि अगर मुझे 2% स्टॉप लेना है तो वो पॉसिबल नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि इस वीक की हाइट ही 4% है. So if I take below this low, my stops are 5%. Now if I want to take stops with trades with only 2% stop, I need to go smaller frame. And now if I take below the low of this day, it is coming 2%. So that was one reason to basically get a very, very tight stops and take the advantage without risking a lot of money. I can still take trades and make a bigger impact on my portfolio. Okay.
Thank you so much.
So I think that's it. I don't want to cut this meeting in the middle. I know a lot of questions are there, and even if I do for another 5 years, they will continue. I'm there on Twitter. You can ask your questions there. The recording of this video will be there. If you did not get the chance to ask your question, but I'm sure you have learned something from the questions of others. And I'm there on Twitter. You can ask your question there also. So that's it for now. I hope to do this one more time sometime in the future. And I enjoyed it, and I hope you also enjoyed it. All right. Thank you. Bye.